Welcome back to Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony. We're just about to get into the meat of the second trial, by which I mean the part of the trial where everybody dies. That's not really what happens. Anyway, we are going to just jump right in and see what happens. What? We're talking about periods now? Why are we talking about periods? Whoa, whoops. Hold on a second while I fix something else. Where are ya? Okay, good. Nice to know that my alt-tab screen doesn't appear while I'm playing the game.
And another thing.
Wait, why wouldn't a parent know their child's cycle?
Yeah? Yeah! Ah! Huh? Huh? Really? Huh? Huh? Oh.
Class trial resume. Let's get back on the horse. I don't know why I'm using funny voices.
My head! Monotaro! Pull yourself together! I feel like I'm forgetting someone important to me, but I just can't. My head! My head hurts so much, I just can't remember.
If you've forgotten, maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy, you know?
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
Grandpa Monokuma? Perish the thought.
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
Monofani's probably gonna die after Himiko said that.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
Or let's figure out who
I know
actually
that's
killed her.
important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge.
It would have been really suspicious either way.
She dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit kill her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
She was smart, but she was also really, really dumb.
No say such mean things! Killing gang bad, not Mew.
That's philosophical,
Mew not
man.
bad person. Going to think we could have been friends if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
Yeah, she's kind of an asshole.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If Mew was killed on the roof of the mansion, the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other.
Just threw her through the wall.
But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall?
Let it off the
I mean,
roof.
it's not like they could have thrown her.
Go to not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the Avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem! Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens!
Jeez, keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard?
Slid off the roof and went flying because the roof was icy. I don't know.
Because of that sound, you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related.
That's it! I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall. The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
You'll what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope,
Yes, I know.
and the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof.
Depending on how the snow is placed, that can actually just cause a lot of friction.
If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Slid off roof.
The culprit used the sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar. Slide?
Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. We wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No. It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shumai?
That's Shuichi. Also, shumai can be delicious.
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Use the lattice as a sled.
Even if her avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
It made that much noise. It must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on roof. But not frozen solid, right?
It'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that.
Even if her avatar...
Noise. It must have built up a lot of... Lots of snow.
Piled up on roof.
Not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide down.
In the real world, it
Might be difficult. But in the virtual world,
perhaps not.
it's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy.
Easy to do.
You just need a
Sled or skis to
cut the friction.
There was nothing like that. That's wrong!
Boom.
No, wait. There was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body. Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof.
There's a lattice like that underneath my bed frame.
I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct!
Alright, let's just review where everybody went a little bit. Himiko, Maki, and Kiba were there. I was with Tsumugi. So it has to be Kaito, Gonta, or Kokichi who killed her. Can't be Kaito because it was logged out. So it's gonna be Kokichi or Gonta.
After the culprit killed Mew on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
The impact made all of her belongings scatter, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff.
Sonic can blow me.
I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful.
Sonic the Hedgehog hatred. So it motivates him.
Gotta be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
He's still your father.
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
You mean you can't believe you killed Mew?
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from you, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
I was with Tsumugi the entire time.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Tsumugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me.
Oh no! Damn it!
Alright, Kokichi it is.
It's you! Kokichi, there's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now. It was that testimony that bothered me. When you were explaining that the door to the roof was locked, you said... But later, you said... That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Finally, Maki's useful. Alright, we have to take a short pause, and we'll be back in a second.